Today on Locked On Rockies, despite trailing multiple times in the finale against the Cardinals, a pinch hit go-ahead home run from who else? Hunter Goodman leads the Rockies to a series win and a regular season win against the St. Louis Cardinals.
You are Locked On Rockies, your daily Colorado Rockies podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Rock on Rockies fans, welcome into the Locked On Rockies podcast for today, the 14th day of August in the year 2025. I'm your host of the Locked On Rockies podcast, Paul Holden, bringing you your daily Colorado Rockies talk right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where you can find your team every day. And if your team is the Colorado Rockies, guess what? You're in the right spot, because that's what we do around here. Each and every day, free and streaming on your favorite streaming services, bringing you that daily Colorado Rockies talk. And we are on the Locked On Rockies YouTube channel, where you could be part of the show. You can fire off your Rockies hot takes. You can let me know what's on your mind when it comes to the Colorado Rockies. Today, of course, we're recapping the Rockies taking a series from the St. Louis Cardinals, the second series win for the Rockies against the Cardinals this year, the first time the Rockies have won the regular season series against the Cardinals since 2009. And how about that? Another thing that happened in this ball game. First time since 2021, the Rockies hit a go-ahead home run in the ninth inning or later, and that's thanks to Hunter Goodman, as the Rockies head back home happy, as they not only do they get a couple of wins, they snap a skid and look like a better baseball team. As much as we just went through and that long losing streak, and it went into the beginning of this series as well. You were it was back to being pretty frustrated, pretty upset, and pretty over this season, and pretty down to things with how badly they were beat against Toronto. And as much as that series was an example of how far the team has to go, this was an example of the series of the young Rockies being turned to in 2 out of the 3 games. And I mean, it's going to be that way for more of them. I mean, the Rockies are going young throughout the rest of this season. It doesn't matter if they have a Freeland and Farmer game start in there. It's still inexperienced, still rookies, still young guys making there. And then in this game 3, the young guys respond. The young guys fight back. The young guys help lead the way to the victory. That's the type of stuff we've been wanting to see. These are the type of games you're hoping to see throughout the rest of the season. The exact opposite, not exact opposite, because of how the game was back and forth in that in the first game of the series there, still with the issues there. But this was one, you look down the board and you say, hey, these guys contributed. These guys had good approaches. These guys got the job done and were able to come up big. So we're going to dive into all of that and more coming up on today's episode. Before we go any further, got to let you know that today's episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off. Yes, 50% off your first year. So, of course, let's talk about the good stuff here. What was encouraging about this game here, and we will have to hit the reality check on Austin Gomber, who continues to kind of really worry me and kind of just fall into another example of Rockies veteran pitchers, Rockies starters just not performing to where we need to, not executing the way we need to. These are the guys that the excuses of being young or inexperienced or anything like that, those don't fly anymore for the most of the Rockies rotation, and that includes Austin Gomber. But in the meantime, the Rockies get 12 hits in this one. They find themselves down 2-0 early in this game. They'd cut the lead in half, making it 2-1. And then the Cardinals adding on 3 runs in the 4th and the 5th. But the Rockies, from the 4th inning through the 7th, score at least 1 run in each one of those innings, executing, getting runs across, staying in the game, allowing themselves to fight back and keep in this here and not let the gap get too big, especially when you're considering the fact that the Rockies go 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position in this game. Certainly some other opportunities, certainly some situations here where they could have, performed better and gotten the job done, but McGreevy was someone that was successful against the Rockies in the first time we faced him this year. This time, the Rockies able to get a little bit of revenge. He still goes 6 innings, but the Rockies tag him for 7 hits, 3 earned runs, including the home run for Mickey Moniak there to get another run on the board. And yes, you'd like to see those crooked numbers, but this is the type of stuff, and these are the type of the games that you do like to see where it's okay. got a run. You were able to at least be effective and be enough to get the run across, drive the run in, and keep yourselves building back up here in this ball game, especially when you're taking in, if you don't plate those 2 runs, you'd be entering the 6th inning in a situation where you'd be down 5-0 if you don't get those runs in the 4th and the 5th. You answer back within the 6th, you cut that lead down to 2. The bullpen holds on in the 6th, then the 7th comes in there, you score another run, the bullpen is nails yet again, keeps that there. 1-run ball game keeps you up into the ball game, and then in the situation where you have Schaefer here and he's looking at his bench and he basically empties the bench and goes for the veteran guys, having Doyle, Goodman, and Farmer hitting in the 9th inning there. But that's the recipe for that's part of the recipe for success. That's the benefit, the added benefit when you're going to these younger lineups, when you're giving you guys your guys that have performed like your Goodman and of late Bretton Doyle as well. You've given them the time off. They're not in the opening lineup, but boom, you get them a situation where we can get the bat in their hand late, and then the Rockies get exactly what they needed from the guy that's been able to do it for them all season long in Hunter Goodman. I mean, it's just absolutely insane that Hunter Goodman continues at this pace. He continues to be on pace to have probably the best offensive season by a catcher. They were talking on the radio broadcast about how he's just, I believe, either just tied and maybe just passed Willeen Rosario in extra base hits for a single season in a catcher after hitting this home run. He's on his way to hitting catching him there for the most single season home runs by a Rockies catcher. He's batting .276 with 24 home runs, 68 RBI, and an .851 OPS while being a catcher. This is really, really important stuff. I mean, this is such an important sign. And shout outs again to the folks that were speaking highly of Hunter Goodman. This is Hunter Goodman. Again, when we're talking about finishing strong, this is the type of stuff we need to see. Let me just by a Rockies catcher. Well, I just want to make sure I get this number right here. Willeen Rosario has the most home runs by a Rockies catcher in a season with 28 home runs in his rookie season in 2012. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty crazy too when you think about it. There, Willeen Rosario doing it in his rookie season, and Hunter Goodman kind of doing it in his rookie season as well. It still counts for Goodman on as a rookie, right? I mean, he's only had let's see here. I'm trying to see, did he play at all last year? I believe he did, right? Because technically, yeah, he got it. He was up with the team. Now I would say enough time for almost a rookie season there, up with the team there. Like, why did I not remember this? But anyway, they handed Hunter Goodman the keys this year. They put a lot of faith in Hunter Goodman. And he has performed, and these are what a clutch, huge situation for him to come up big in this game as well. Hey, game's on the line. We have an opportunity. A one big swing can put us in the lead, or at least tie the ball game. So you turn to your best option. You turn to your best offensive weapon this year in Hunter Goodman, and he comes up big, and he comes up and he delivers, and that's exactly what you're hoping for. That's exactly what the rest of this season is supposed to be all about, is seeing moments like this, seeing games like this, where it's not just Hunter Goodman in the pinch hit. Let's talk about the fact that the rest of the team was a very, very strong performance. We're talking about Braxton Fulford having a couple of having a couple of RBI in this game. Was that off a couple of base hits? Let me double check here on the box score there. For Karros. Yeah. Karros had the couple of hits. Fulford, no hits, but a couple of RBI. So effective at bats there. And so again, some of the stuff you'd like to see Amador pick up a hit, but just go down the list here of the guys of guys impacting the game, guys getting on base, guys being successful here. We're talking about another 3-hit, another multi-hit day for Freeman. Mickey Moniak is getting more and more comfortable. He comes up with a big diving stop as well on the defensive side. He's clearly finding his home and finding his groove here with the Colorado Rockies and being more comfortable with the extended playing time and with the role that the Rockies have put him in. Ezekiel Tovar gets a hit in an RBI, gets the Rockies on the board early there. Jordan Beck, 2 hits. Kyle Karros, two hits in this ball game as well. Yanquiel Fernandez gets a hit in this one. Every single member of the Rockies starting 9 getting a hit outside of Fulford and Amador. And yeah, it's a bummer for Amador with not much there at the 9 hole, but Fulford has the 2 RBIs there, is able to come up and have successful at bats there, as we see and as we look as there just continues to be some bright spots here, as Freeman's batting average is back up to 300 here, as he continues to be a very fascinating guy at the top of the Rockies order. The offense is in a better spot and still has room to improve, certainly here too, when we're looking at the fact that the Rockies go 1 for 9 with the runners in scoring position. We know that they've been a much better team. I believe it was in game 2, I saw that the Rockies were about 5th place when it came to batting average with runners in scoring position in the second half of the season. So still an area where there's been a lot of improvement, but still would like to see some growth, still would like to see some the Rockies cash in a little bit more, add a fire back on the pressure. But you're not going to be upset about the fact that you are able to score in multiple innings in a row, and then your bullpen comes in and shuts the door. So let's shift the focus a little bit to the pitching side of things, and as we continue to put a bow on the Rockies picking up win number 32 here on the season. Only 10 wins to go to avoid that dreaded worst season ever. Let's dive into it and more coming up next on today's episode of Locked On Rockies. Before we do that, though, got to tell you about the folks that help make this show possible, and that includes Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there is Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or on your phone. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. I'm not going to lie. Spreadsheets, numbers, organization, all things that I struggle with, and Monarch Money is going to make sure that you don't. You can link all your accounts to Monarch and immediately spot what subscriptions you're not using, get those out of there, save some money, and you can cancel all of that stuff that you don't need, and that's going to save you money every month. It also makes it simple to review your finances with your partner, whether it be your life partner or your business partner. You can both see budgets, goals, and spending activity in one place. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. Locked On Rockies back with you here on your favorite streaming services and the Locked On Rockies YouTube channel. Be part of the show. Fire off your Rockies hot takes. Let me know what's on your mind when it comes to the Colorado Rockies. Here's the Rockies feeling good about taking down the Cardinals now, beating them in 4 out of 6 ball games here in this series, in the regular season, with 2 strikeouts as well. The Rockies have had a horrendous run differential this entire year, basically being in last place by nearly or close to 200 or more. And I saw Patrick Lyons this. I wasn't sure if this was just for the this weekend's or this week's series, which let me do a quick little number crunch there. 11 runs scored by the Rockies to the 7. So the +4 run differential was just for those 3 games. But if you add in the other games there, the Rockies, they're +10 and they were +6. So there, I believe if my quick math is correct, the Rockies overall outscoring the Cardinals and going +10 on the run differential there. That's a pretty big sign. I mean, that's a pretty interesting kind of a little nugget of information there. It certainly doesn't change the grand scheme of things, but it's fascinating for the Rockies to be that successful against a team really in any situation. When your run differential and when you have been as bad as the Rockies have been when it comes to allowing runs and getting behind and allowing the big games, for you to be able to go in 2 series for a team finish +10 when you're 200 in the 200 below, 200 more. What is that? More runs scored. That there's more 200 more runs scored than for the opponents than runs scored by you. To be able to go out and do that in a series, that's good, especially when you factor in the Rockies lineups in this one. Again, it's not a shock that the Rockies lineups looked what they are. But when you're talking about another lineup again, that the bottom of the lineup is all guys that have very minimal major league time. Karros, Fernandez, Fulford, Amador, the back half of your and Warming Bernabel even up there. I mean, the top 4 of your lineup have a little bit more of the experience, have a little bit more of their feet underneath them. But for the Rockies to get the production from these young guys, for them to keep trotting out, for them to trot out this lineup again and to be successful, things you love to see, especially as you know that really is going to put a damper on the future and what's next for the Cardinals there. So okay, we talk about the good things, let's talk about the bad things here. And it's just another example of sitting here and saying the Rockies have a problem with another one of their veteran starters. I mean, the Austin Gomber performances, yes, hey, was it the worst line in the world? No, but it's still another game where it's 9 hits. It's 5 earned runs. It's only 2 strikeouts. It's another multi-home run game. This is not the type of stuff that can be the norm. And unfortunately, it is the norm for Austin Gomber here. Last 5 games for Austin Gomber has allowed at minimum 1 home run in his last 6 starts. He's allowed 2 home runs in 3 of those last 6 starts straight. Austin Gomber did go 6 innings there, but rarely has he gone past the 5th inning since his return for the Rockies. And he only has 2 games this year, 2 starts that you have to go back to June for, where he has not allowed a home run. Austin Gomber has only allowed out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 10 starts, 11 starts now. Austin Gomber has allowed 5 hits, has allowed less than 5 hits in 3 of those starts. 3 of those starts. He's allowed at least, he has not had a game, a start where he has not allowed an earned run since his first start of the season. Now, granted that some of these, it's only a couple, that it's not that, it's not the worst thing in the world, but this is, again, when we're talking about your starting pitching putting you behind, Austin Gomber has put the Rockies behind in his starts and has put him in a situation now where he does not have a win on the season. He is still 0-6 on the season. He still has an ERA of over 6.75. He's only got 32 strikeouts this year. His whip is at 1.61. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable for a veteran pitcher. Everything that we've seen from most of the Rocky starters, I couldn't have been more wrong. Out of all the stuff that I was wrong about leading into this season, there is nothing I was more wrong about than buying into and believing that this Rockies rotation, this Rockies starting rotation with these guys coming back, these guys back in the mix, was going to be better, because these guys are not putting the Rockies in great starts. And as much as I waxed poetic about Kyle Freeland yesterday, I understand that it's more of a roller coaster here, but I'm looking at straight numbers and I'm looking at straight results here for 11 starts from Austin Gomber. Yes, it's not the full season sample size, certainly, but since he's been back, he's not missing bats. He's not efficient. He's not getting outs. He's not helping this team get ahead. He's putting them behind, and he's allowing way too much damage for a guy that pitches at Coors Field. And these are losses on and these are issues here with home or away. The Rockies didn't win a single game that Austin Gomber threw in July. They're now, they've won 2 of 3 starts here in the month of August. Great sign. But it's still, we're talking about a guy that it's 17 earned runs over 5 starts in August. It's now 14 earned runs over 3 starts. I'm sorry, in July, the 17 earned runs. We're talking about another month of 14 earned runs at minimum for the month of August, We are watching the earned runs allowed from Austin Gomber increase over as the season goes along. We're watching the bad numbers increase for Austin Gomber along the way. He's already allowed more home runs in August than he allowed in all of July and all of June. In fact, with the 2 home runs, he's only 2 home runs behind allowing the amount there in both July and June combined. June was 3 starts, so that's still a month and a half. When you're talking about it kind of over the course of things, it's still a good chunk of the month there. Might not be the full month, but it's pitching starting on June 15th, right in the middle of the month. So it's half of the month there. We're looking at about 2.5 months worth of work, approaching 2.5 months worth of work here, closer to 2, I guess. And we're not seeing improvement on the numbers. We're seeing worrying trends. We're seeing worrying issues continue as the Rockies and their pitching philosophy and the people in charge that bought into these players and gave them extensions and bought into this rotation and believed in it. We're continuing to see the regression. We are not seeing improvement here. And this Austin Gomber performance drives home and reminds the fact that the Rockies starting pitching is still a massive issue. At this stage, at this point, we need to be. I understand that this is kind of like they are who they are, right? We know that, but that doesn't take away from the fact that the performance is lacking. The performance is unacceptable. Austin Gomber's pitching performance in 2025 has been unacceptable for a guy that is supposed to have a veteran and leadership spot here. I'm not even focused. The storyline of Gomber and how he got here, that's long gone. That's not what I'm focused on. I'm talking about strictly results here. And we're looking at the same worrying trends that we've seen from Austin Gomber basically the entire time that he has pitched in Colorado. Actually, in a worse spot, we're talking about the fact that Gomber last year, home runs weren't a problem. There was never a double-digit month allowed in for Austin Gomber in terms of home runs allowed, and he hasn't, and that hasn't been the case. I looked at the wrong stat. Not a good example there, but we are seeing the more home runs being hit against Gomber. We are seeing more. We are seeing everything, kind of trend in those wrong directions where these are the guys that are supposed to be the veteran rocks for the Rockies continue to show their wear and continue to show their issues and continue to be a bit of a problem. What wasn't a problem for the Rockies in this finale, the bullpen. Great performance from them. Let's talk about that, and let's look ahead to the home series as the Rockies are looking to get revenge against the team they just saw recently. Let's talk about that coming up next on today's episode of Locked On Rockies. Before we do that, though, got to tell you about the folks that help make this show possible. And, I lost my little thing here. Well, I'll at least start telling you about it, and then I will get our visual up here. But we are brought to you today by 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. It is time to fuel up and turn it up with 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite without the alcohol right to you in a delicious, simple, tasty beverage. It's got that boost, perfect for sinking birdies and making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course or just need a little extra push to power through your day, 5 Hour Energy Transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor you love without ever leaving the green. You can hit your favorite shot. You can be energized and pumped up for that early morning tee time to beat the heat. Golf's a bit of a roller coaster, but it's really all about having fun with your friends, and that's what 5 Hour Energy gives you the boost to do. Golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors. The grape ginger lime flavor of 5 Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the bev cart. Now, you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the U.S. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 21st, 2025. Locked On Rockies here, coming to a close for your Thursday edition of the Locked On Rockies podcast. We're free and streaming on those favorite streaming services, and of course on the Locked On Rockies YouTube channel, where you can be part of the show. The Rockies bullpen was stellar now in this series. The Rockies bullpen not allowing any runs, any damage here in the back two of the ball game after Mejia was unable to secure that close win in game one. After that, the Rockies bullpen comes in and is nails. Anderson goes for a clean inning there with the strikeout. Hill, clean inning with the strikeout. Herget, clean inning with a couple of strikeouts. Vodnik, clean inning, no strikeouts, but no worries there. Each one of them not going past 15 pitches in the finale. That means back-to-back scoreless performances from the bullpen there. I know they didn't need much from the Rockies bullpen in game two, thanks to Kyle Freeland, but they got the job done. I mean, and that's the type of stuff where in the first game here, we were talking about keep the pressure on these guys, keep the test going for these guys, and see how they answer. And this game in game three was one where they answered. Fell behind, bounced back on offense. Didn't do it all at once, struggled with runners in scoring position. Wasn't the easiest way to do it, but fought back, got yourself in the position to win, and then got the win when you turned to your best players there. If you can do that, if the pitching can keep you in there, if you can keep everything tight and keep yourselves in close ball games there, don't let the leads get too far out of hand, got yourself a chance. And the Rockies have shown that they've had the ability to come back and fight back in some games this year. They haven't always been successful at it. They've lost a lot, but when they have shown the fight, when they have shown that when they have come back, they have shown the ability to stay in games, hang in there, and get the job done and get some wins there. And they got to do it more. We got to keep seeing it, right? It's got you to be a great baseball team, to be a super successful baseball team, a playoff baseball team, a successful in the playoff baseball team. You got to recreate these type of wins, these type of games where you fight back, where you execute when you need to execute and get the job done. So we'll see if the Rockies can do that here, as they need to get 10 more wins here, 10 more wins for the Rockies to avoid that title of worst team of all time. And up next for the Colorado Rockies is a long homestand against the NL West, where the Rockies have really struggled against here. They've been better at home in the second half of the season. Now, of course, the Toronto series is the outlier there, but the Rockies have been a much better team at Coors Field in the second half of the season, been a better offense in the second half of the season. And like we saw there already, even though the Rockies losing that series against the Diamondbacks there, and giving up another 14-run game, and another instance where the Rockies were actually that was back in June there. So let me get the more recent numbers there. They gave up the 13 runs in that in game three of that one. Where the Diamondbacks actually swept the Rockies. I apologize. I was looking there. So the Rockies are looking to snap the losing streak against the Diamondbacks, get themselves here in a position to make this regular season series a little bit closer here. A sweep for the Rockies would still have Arizona winning the series at 7-6. So the Diamondbacks have already won the regular season series against the Rockies here. But looking ahead here, the Rockies are taking on Eduardo Rodriguez here, who is 4-7 with a 5.68 ERA, a 1.68 whip, over 103 innings pitched, giving up 131 hits, 105 strikeouts. So when strikeouts certainly going to be part of the repertoire, 42 walks to 19 home runs. So again, certainly another guy that the Rockies can be successful against, and were successful against in their last time that they saw him. The Rockies did see Rodriguez in the last game here, the last series that they played. He went 5 1/3, got tagged for 6 hits, 5 earned runs, including a home run, after allowing 5 walks. So he in his last game there here, let's see, I don't know, he has allowed at least 2 walks in his last 5 starts, including the 5 against the Rockies. He's allowed home runs in 3 out of the last 5. Can't see exactly where it was here. Let me see if I can get some of the stats. I don't see him pitching in this game that they say he was. So his last start was against the Rockies there as well. So he hasn't pitched since seeing the Rockies again. So the Rockies, maybe if they can lock in again, and now this one will be at Coors Field. So if you're able to draw a bunch of walks again, be able to hit the long ball, you can make it uncomfortable there for Eduardo Rodriguez. But we'll also see how the Rockies now navigate what is very much in the thick of this long stretch of games without the break too. This should be a young Rockies team that's ready to go and ready to get after it. But we'll see what the impact of the dog days of summer are, as well as the Diamondbacks coming into this game have won 3. Let's see here. 5 of their last 6, and their only loss to Texas was in extra innings here. So, of course, the Rockies snapping that 8-game losing streak, but only the 2 wins there in the last 5, 2 wins in the last 6 as well. So the Rockies looking to make it make a home field uncomfortable for Arizona, but Arizona is no stranger to being no stranger to Coors Field, and no worries for them at batting and hitting there either. We'll be reacting to it all. We'll be breaking it all down for you here as the Rockies got this long weekend series against the Diamondbacks, and then the Dodgers are in town. Be cool to see the Rockies answer the test about fighting the NL West here at home. But tall order as the Rockies look to start adding some wins, and we'll keep looking at the calendar here to see if the Rockies what are the odds of the Rockies getting those 10 wins to avoid the big bad worst season ever. And the question for you now, which might seem like an obvious one, do the Rockies get 10 wins before they get 12 losses? Because if they get 10 wins, they'll avoid that while delaying the 100-loss season. But it's going to be tough to do here because they got 2 teams that have had their number for a long time coming into town. Folks, that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Rockies. Thank you so much for making it your first listen of the day. For your second listen, go check out Locked On MLB and Locked On MLB Game Night. And, of course, if you need more Colorado sports coverage, we got you covered with Locked On Broncos, Avalanche, Nuggets, and Buffs, free and streaming on your favorite streaming service. Until next time, I'm Paul Holden saying so long from the Locked On Rockies podcast.